Jackson Radio Show.
I understand they paid a tremendous amount of money.
He just now refers to it as the fake dossier, which is why I wanted to make the point that some of it has been corroborated,
right, but
far from all of it. Do you think more or most of it is true, or would we know that by now?
Well, I don't know that. First, I do want to comment on the pedigree of the financing, the audit trail there. When we did our Intelligence Committee assessment, we were aware that there had been research done and that some Republican candidates, as a matter of fact, had contracted through, I think, Fusion GPS to obtain what later became what's known as the dossier.
So Clinton paid for part of it, but it had been started and paid for by Republicans.
That work was, as I understand it, was handed off later to the DNC and or the Clinton campaign. So I think this is something that bears an audit trail by experts in finances that can track the auditing for this and to see who is ultimately responsible for it. I think with respect to the dossier itself, the key thing is it doesn't matter who paid for it. It's what the dossier said and the extent to which it's corroborated or not. We had some concerns about it from the standpoint of its sourcing, which we couldn't corroborate. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, some of the substantive content, not all of it, but some of the substantive content of the dossier, we were able to corroborate in our Intelligence Community assessment, which from other sources, in which we had a very high confidence level.
So when the president just refers to it as fake dossier, that is false.
I don't think that is the accurate characterization for the entirety of the dossier, and I think that what has not been corroborated has yet to be determined.
Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. That was Clapper, James Clapper, intelligence guy from way back. And he says Republicans started this, and then the Democrats got it from the Republicans and, took it. And he says, so I'd like to see the audit trail of how that all came to be. Fine. I'd love to look at it. I bet you President Trump would say, let's look at it. Let's have it. Notice everything we have to get, we got to get through freedom of information. They don't want to give it. And he says it doesn't matter who paid for it. He says it's just opposition research. Well, what does matter is the information. So here's what he says. We couldn't corroborate everything, but we did corroborate some. So here's what I would say. I love watching the Democrats squirm. See, they'll do anything to stop the bloodletting except to tell the truth. That's all they got. If the Democrats were to stop and go, look, we're just going to quit. We really felt like there would be a connection between Trump and the Russians. We know we have one. We did, and if I don't care how they want to spin the deal between Uranium One or whatever, but at least stop and say, we knew that we had ties to Russia, but we felt like ours were legit. Whatever. I don't care. It's funny. When Manafort was being touted out there, like used as bait, they did. Now that I look back on it, I'm looking at it and going, Manafort was going, guys, I worked for you at the time. How are you doing this? And then when he found out he was going to be the one held out to dry, I think that's when things started to happen. I mean, that was a tortured attempt to explain away the fake dossier that led to the fake investigation of Donald Trump and his campaign. That's what Clapper's commentary was. Burnett says, he just now refers to it as the fake dossier, which is why I want to make the point some has been corroborated. Do you think some or most is true? And Clapper says, I don't know that. But he wanted to talk about the financing. But he goes on to say that he doesn't believe that, she says, when the president refers to it as a fake dossier, that's raises issues, right? And he says, I don't think it's an accurate characterization for the entirety of the dossier. For the entirety of the dossier. So the dossier, just so we're clear, has fake information and it has real information. That's what Clapper wants to be clear. That's what Burnett on CNN wants clear, that there's some real information in this dossier. It's not fake, completely fake. It's like saying, America is racist, right, Kevin? No. Well, Kevin, surely you can admit there's some racism in America, right? That's what she wants. That's what she wants a little bit. Just give me something to tell me that this dossier is not fake. It could be real, right? So if the dossier spelled Donald Trump's name correctly, then there is some reality to the document. Is there not? Yeah, I think you know where I'm going here, right? CNN said this. This was Tapper and some other people. The long probe into Russia's meddling in the 2016 presidential election took another turn this week when it was revealed that Hillary Clinton's campaign helped fund the creation of the controversial Trump dossier. They funded the creation. Other Republicans were looking for research. Clinton took it over and says, no, let's fund the creation of a dossier, a fake dossier. So, like with so much else attached or adjacent to the Russia investigation, they write, from President Donald Trump's campaign and its associates to Clinton and hers, separating the noise from the news can be an exhausting endeavor. This latest round of new details poses all the usual complications. So what happened and what matters? Partisans, especially Clinton and Trump loyalists, would give you two very different answers, but it boils down to the question of priorities. None of the major facts revealed this week are being disputed. The fight is over what's relevant to the bigger picture and whether anything has materially changed. So the woman, there was a video that was played and she admitted that the information was not corroborated and that it never would be. But what was more revealing to me was this part of the article. It said, so again, the new thing here is not that the Democrats paid Fusion GPS and so helped, wittingly or unwittingly, to bankroll Steele's work. He's the guy, the British guy of MI6 who was working with the Russians. But that it was specifically Clinton's campaign and the DNC. Now they write in brackets, your eye-rolling friend would, right about now, pop up to ask, well, who else would it have been? It's a fair question. Note, opposition research, as dirty and secretive as it can be, is an everyday part of U.S. elections. Now that's the end of the article, the piece that I found interesting and what I want to discuss. So when I got to that point, I said to myself, okay, well, if it's no big deal that they were just gathering opposition research, why did the Clinton team and the DNC not share this information earlier? Good question, right? The Clinton campaign and the DNC could have simply told reporters they'd entered into a deal with Fusion GPS months ago. It would have cut off any speculation that was out there and effectively forestalled this new drama, but they didn't say a word. And the result is the fact that the Clinton campaign funded this research could very well take the wind out of the sails of those outraged by Trump's emissaries potentially working with a foreign power. That's what CNN wrote. Now, let me tell you, it doesn't potentially take the air out of the sails. It takes the air out of the sails. There was no Trump working with a foreign power. The only people working with a foreign power was Hillary Clinton. But there are a lot of good questions that can be asked, folks. The best question might be how the media refused to investigate the scandal that was right under their noses. And now we get to a litany of excuses. Some people on the left arguing that giving the country the Democrats deem our arch enemy 20% control of our uranium is a good thing. Hillary Clinton herself dismissed the discussion of the deal as a witch hunt. So we've got already two excuses. One, it's a witch hunt. Now, I'm not going to go back and connect all the dots for you. But this guy that went on Tucker Carlson and actually, hey, well, quite honestly, it could be a good thing. Explain to me how that could be a good thing. I'm talking about in the context of how the left have constantly droned on and reminded us of just how bad these Russians are, how bad Putin is, how connected Donald Trump is to Putin, and they've gone on the witch hunt. Explain to me how you can now say that Putin's a good guy. See, the Democrats tell you what they're up to. I've told you guys this. They do it in your face. Dinesh D'Souza, a friend of mine, tweeted something along the lines of, it's funny how the Democrats are doing everything with the Russians that they claim Donald Trump was. And I'm saying, how long have I been telling you guys this? My job is easy. I'm making it easy for you. It's very simple. Ask yourself with Trump, what would they say if Obama did it? Right? Ask yourself of a Democrat. It's a very simple thing to flip the script and just say, hey, whatever they tell you that they've done, you can be guaranteed that the Democrats are doing, and then watch it happen. Watch it turn out. Folks, that's the secret to the success of Kevin Jackson. Anyway, we got a lot more to talk about. You guys keep it here. Back in a bit.
Kevin Jackson
on the Black Sphere Radio Network.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177. Or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.